Now obviously this drawing will not be complete when we did not put in a few things. Like for example, we need to put in the drawing title tag, we need to put in material specifications, we need to put in the title block as well. So I'm going to try to do this now. So what's going to happen is I can simply just copy this entire section here along with the title, the blank title block, okay, from the template, and I can just move them to this side first. Okay, and I know that this is going to be scale 1:20, so I'm going to just select this area here, a window select, and I will do a SC scale command, and I will just use a base point here, and I will key in the scale as 20 down here. So I'm very sure that now it is to scale. Okay. So what I can do is now I can simply select these critical information areas and I'll move them so that I can fit the title block in nicely. I can remove this rectangle now. Alright, and with this, I can be very sure that the symbols reference that I need to use all the time will be to scale. Okay. However, I need to pay attention to the line type scale here, like I mentioned earlier on. So if you look at this now, the line type scale appears incorrect, wrong, because right now we are trying to prepare a drawing at 1:20 scale. Okay, so what I need to do now immediately would be to change the line type scale by typing in the LTS command, enter, and key in the required scale, which is 20. So I'll key in at 20, enter. Notice now the scales for the section marker and for the grids will be as designed by the template itself. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this one first. Copy the drawing title tag first and rename the scale first. I think it's furniture layout plan, so I'll just keep it as it is. Okay, and from here I can begin to insert in, let's say, the section marker. Now the section, like I earlier mentioned, the section is not going to appear in the same drawing sheet as this drawing, because this drawing has only consists of enough space to contain just the plan. So the section has to be drawn in another sheet. So therefore, I will use this particular symbol here. So I will make a copy of this and put it here first. And I'll just move them inside. So I will use the midpoint of this marker to put it somewhere here, snap to nearest. Okay, and I will move this marker, snap to midpoint, and I will snap to the perpendicular point of this in order to make sure the markers will appear nicely. Okay, notice also I want to be paying attention to here. I don't want the dimension lines to crisscross into the markers. Okay, so what I'll do is I will do a stretch, and I will do a crossing stretch here, and I will remove these items that I don't want to be affected, and I can simply just stretch them out a little bit. Okay, I can lock the auto mode, and I can move them out of the place here so that the drawing appears neat and all. Okay, in case I need to prepare another section marker cutting through this way, looking down here. Okay, for example, if I need to do this, what I can do is I will copy this and place it outside first and do a rotation. So I will rotate this, select these, and I'll rotate these markers by 90 degrees. Okay, and I will select these two sections AA. I just need to change them to, let's say, section B and B. Section B here. Okay, and then after I select these two, I will go to properties, or I can right click properties here and change the orientation under text, under rotation here, and change them from 90 degrees to 0 degrees. So they will appear upright. And inside here, this information will be wrong. I cannot present it this way. So I need to rotate the entire symbol inside here, the circular symbol area only, not the arrow, the internal symbol here, and do a rotate command. And I will snap to the midpoint here and do a minus 90 rotation. So they appear upright as well. And then I will be able to move them, snap to the midpoint, and snap to a nearest point where I need to, let's say, cut a section here. And then I will move the section marker, snap to perpendicular down to here as well. Okay, and notice again I have another crisscrossing situation, so I can simply just click on this and move the dimension marker out of the way, this way here. All right, and how do we dimension the, how to dimension, okay, add material specification here, sorry. So these arrows here, if you notice, these arrows, if they are scale, these dimension leaders, these leaders, if they are at the scale 1:1, we will be able to see the arrowheads coming out here. All right, notice here the arrowheads are appearing. But at a scale up version of 1:20, they are still there, but they are going to appear very, very small. All right, so too small for us to be able to see this clearly. So what we need to do is we will need to select these leaders here by doing a crossing selection, and we are going to change the style from, okay, scale 1 to scale 20. Notice after we've done this, the arrows will appear here. All right, and with this now, we can simply copy this and put it, let's say, here. Then we can begin to do our required material specification. Now, material specification, usually we will need to prepare at least 3 key information here. Mainly thickness, material, and finish. All right, so very, very simply put, for example, we can key in 20 mm thick plywood in laminate finish, this way. Okay, We will also need to label the rooms or the spaces. So we are going to use this particular room tag here. So we will just copy this room tag and put it here. Let's say this is a study room. All right. So all this would have been accurate already. Okay. We will also need to put in the floor level indication. What is or what will be the finished floor level? All right. The FFL denotes the finished floor level, where the SL denotes the structural level. And if need be, also, we will need to indicate the elevation. In our practice in interior design, interior elevations is very, very critical for us. So we will need to put these in as well. And lastly, we can also include the scale bar here. Okay. Now this scale bar, if you notice, is not quite to scale also. Okay, because at this point here it is saying 60 meters. But at this scale that we are going to plot, it is not. So let's take a look at it and see and do a measurement. So we type in distance command here, and we can do a measurement. Okay, using the dist command, we can do a simple measurement of from the left to the right of this scale bar, and we will find that this is actually 1200 mm. So we can just key in here to here, type in 1200 or 1.2 meter here. And we can do a distance here from this one to this one, and this is 800. So this is 0.8. And this would be 0.4. And this would be 0.2 this way. All right. Then we would fill in all these required information before we are almost done with it. Okay. So that's how we can prepare the drawing for printing in model space. All right. So